The big news that everyone is paying attention to right now is strictly the price of cryptocurrencies. The price for freaking Bitcoin. What Ethereum is doing. Why are my bags not pumping? Where is this altcoin season? And I gotta tell you, I think that is not the news right now we need to be paying attention to. I think that what has happened in the current climate, okay, with all this dopamine that was pumped in everyone's system with this crazy 6 to 7 months of straight uptrend of Bitcoin and all altcoins, I think everyone got blindsided. The crypto conference we had in Miami, I'm glad I didn't go, because if that right there is the representation of what Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is, forget it. I will take a hard pass on it. It was a freaking joke. A lot of my friends went. I got to see a lot of video from it. I got a lot of information shared to me. Whale Day, for instance, was a freaking joke. If you participate in Whale Day, you'll figure out, right, that the biggest conversation, especially at the after party, wasn't the actual Bitcoin asset. It was how to introduce more synthetic Bitcoin into the environment. How can we go ahead and keep hedging our portfolios against Bitcoin while retail is speculating on it? Let's continue to speculate on the price. A joke, guys. This is becoming Bitcoin, not Bitcoin. There's so much happening right now that people are not paying attention to because everyone is trying so hard to get wealthy off this. Everyone is listening to the promises that you're going to be rich, that buy your Bitcoin and hodl, that you should be buying right now as the prices are dropping. And people have been telling you to buy since $38,000. Since $38,500, everyone said buy. This is the time to buy. The price of Bitcoin is now at $31,700. Granted, it could go up, but if this trend continues, you've already lost about $8,000 if you bought one Bitcoin. Imagine if you bought 10. Imagine if you're one of those who mortgaged your house to buy 10 because you believe that this is the time to buy and you're trying to catch those falling knives. You're going to get bled out. Got to bleep that little word out for a second. But this is actually still not even the big news. This is not the big news, okay? All the things I just laid out here is not actually the big news. You know what the big news is? The fact that the U.S. government was able to confiscate Bitcoin. And what irritates me is we've heard this over and over and over. How many cases have we heard where the U.S. government was able to take someone's Bitcoin? They can take your Bitcoin. The ransom, right, that was paid in Bitcoin here in the U.S. when the hackers put the Colonial Pipeline, right, and they hacked it and they froze it, that ransom was recovered. It was taken. How in the hell are they able to take an unconfiscatable asset? This is the thing that should be raising the hairs on your arms and the back of your neck right now. You should be asking yourself, what is going on? What have I not been paying attention to? It is absolute craziness. It is. It is absolute craziness. Now, the call for more synthetic Bitcoin that at the BTC conference with all the whales we're getting together, the reason for that call right now, check this out. Inflation. So let's take this other asset that the whole world wants to speculate on, that the retail world believes is going to make them wealthy. Let's use this. Let's paint this pretty picture. Let's create more synthetic assets around it that speculates on the price only, but not the asset, okay? And let's tank the shit out of this thing. Let's use this right here to make us wealth, to hedge our traditional portfolios. That's what's happening, guys. This is getting ugly. It is. It's getting absolutely ugly. Now, I'm going to be the only one that's going to tell you this. I'm going to be the only one that's going to tell you this, and no one else will. Majority of you don't want to hear what I have to say right now. You guys don't want to hear this. I understand that because you got into this believing that this is the best store of value, that this is the next global currency, so on and so forth. Question you have to ask yourself, okay, is how much centralization do you want? Think about how far you want Bitcoin to get. You get Bitcoin to those levels where it's a central currency. It becomes a confiscatable currency. It has to. It has to. No way in hell our government's going to allow a currency that has no control to have free reign around the world. Just not going to happen. The synthetics, maybe. The synthetic representations of Bitcoin, maybe that'll have a better chance, right? But banks are already creating a digital dollar. And that's something else that was talked about at freaking the Miami conference, is the digital dollar creation. Banks are going digital. They're doing their own essential cryptocurrencies, but it's a confiscatable model. borrowing all the best things of our world, minus the fact that they're making sure that it is very confiscatable because it's centralized. Check your USDT. Did you know your USDT, USDC, any of your stable coins, those could be confiscated as well? Most people don't even know that. Most people have no idea that your stablecoin assets can actually be confiscated. If they know exactly which wallet is your wallet, all that crypto, if you have $5 million in stablecoins, okay, all of that, if they know it's your wallet, is on a centralized blockchain. They can deny your transactions. You get what I'm saying? They can lock you down. And it's crazy. It's crazy where we're heading right now. So let's talk something. Let's talk about the market. Let's talk about the news, and let's determine where this might go throughout the course of this year. Now, I will say this. I'm not being completely bearish. What I'm trying to say is, don't focus so much on trying to be a damn bull that you're missing out on what's really happening around the world. Okay? Don't focus so much on your hopes and dreams of getting rich that you're going to be completely oblivious of what is actually happening. Okay? You gotta maintain that vision, that full 180 degrees. Don't get tunnel vision. Bitcoin slides over 10% after US seizes most of Colonial Pipeline ransom. The world's largest cryptocurrency slid 10%. The US officials said Monday they have seized 2.3 million in Bitcoin paid to hacker group DarkSide. The FBI was able to access the private key or password for one of the hackers' Bitcoin wallets. Okay. Very, very interesting. I'm not buying it. Not buying it. If you Google confiscated Bitcoin, DOJ confiscated Bitcoin, U.S. government auctioning Bitcoin, ask yourself, how the hell did they convince the criminals to here's the keys to my Bitcoin, here's everything you need, go ahead and take it. How in the hell did they do that? Come on, who's going to surrender the Bitcoin? Who's going to do that? Now, I also find it very, 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 very unlikely that a hacker group like DarkSide is going to keep $2.3 million on one wallet. That shit had to have gone through a mixer. They put that through Wasabi wallet, I guarantee you. How did they do this? Because DarkSide, the guys who shut down a pipeline, you think they're stupid enough to put $2.3 million on a single wallet? On one single wallet? Come on, let's get real now. Court documents said investigators were able to access the password for one of the hackers' Bitcoin wallets. The money was recovered by a recently launched task force in Washington created as part of the government's response to a rise in cyber attacks. The world's largest cryptocurrency slid 11% at 11 a.m. Eastern to a price of 31.6, according to Coinmetrics data. So I'm telling you guys, this is the big news. This is the big news. How the hell did they do this? Because this isn't the first time. This isn't the first time we've seen it. This unconfiscatable, beautiful asset that was at one time the people's currency. Okay, it really was. Things like Bitcoin was what actually kept our freedom fighters free. Believe it or not. I can't get into details in this videos. I'm actually thinking about making a video about how Bitcoin has saved the world. I'm not kidding you. Bitcoin has saved free speech. You guys just don't really realize this. The beauty of what Bitcoin actually is, the asset that everyone wants to buy just to get rich, just to sit there and get on top. You don't realize that you are playing with an asset that has protected free speech. And you might be asking yourself, how? I really think I'm going to do a video on that. I really think I need to, because if Bitcoin did not exist, there would be certain situations to where governments couldn't be held accountable. I'm telling you the truth. That video was probably coming. In today's day and age, though, I just don't know if doing that video is a good idea for my algorithm. I think YouTube will kill me pretty quick. So on the other side of this story, okay, so that we saw CNBC give us their version. Business Insider said the FBI declined to specifically say how it seized the funds from DarkSide hackers. That makes more sense to me. It makes more sense to me. This article over here from CNBC is like if you don't know what Bitcoin actually is, it makes it seem like, oh, it's so easy to steal. It's not safe. It's not secure. See, it's just garbage money. I hate the representation that CNBC has given Bitcoin because that is so far off. It really is. It's so freaking far off. It's annoying. But the FBI did decline to specifically say how it seized the funds from dark side hackers according to this. That makes more sense because you don't want to reveal how that's done because there's multiple cases going back to 2016 where the U.S. government has found a way to take Bitcoin from criminals, organized crime entities, and even terrorists. True story. Okay, so I'm telling you, there is something that they can do. There's a flaw somewhere in the Bitcoin blockchain. I don't know where, but somewhere there is a loophole that we've all overlooked because we're too busy trying to get rich. Now, talking about the rich stuff here. Deutsche Bank warns of global time bomb coming due to rising inflation. Now, inflation is happening on a global level. I have not been following it on the global level as closely as I should. I've been following it more here in my country, in America. In America, we're like 4.6% inflation as of last month. I don't know where we're at right now, but it is still increasing. We are seeing it, the inflation cost in the prices of our groceries, or prices of building materials, fuel, utilities. It's kind of crazy. And what's also crazy is the home market is bubbled right now, and they're raising the property tax evaluations. I actually just got a letter for one of my properties that they're raising the tax rate on it because the market is rising. I'm thinking to myself, why would you do that right now, considering this is more than likely a bubble as a result of all this free money that just got printed? Eventually, this is going to pop. But inflation is a real thing right now. After looking briefly at this article, I can tell you that I am very concerned, and I don't know why people aren't paying attention to this, because I do know inflation was a discussion at the Miami Bitcoin conference. Okay, and this discussion didn't happen amongst your small fry freaking minnows. This discussion was happening amongst your whales, your heavy-handed traders. This discussion happened with people who can influence the market. The conversation is inflation is a real danger to our traditional assets, to the traditional world. We have an unregulated space over here where we have a crazy amount of people here right now supporting this, speculating on this because they're following a trend. Majority of these people have no idea what this is. They're just following the narratives that are presented to them by influencers or those who have public images. Okay, so Michael Saylor is one of those. He's painting this picture of Bitcoin, but meanwhile he's creating synthetics of this, which creates a lending model, which creates a money printing model, which is freaking terrible. It's like DeFi on steroids, unregulated DeFi for freaking institutions. Okay, think about this for a second. So they're coming to our space right now, and they're creating more synthetics. The more synthetics they can apply to this, the more you can speculate not on the asset itself, because they don't give a shit about Bitcoin. It's the price. Everyone says it makes no sense. Why wouldn't they want a $100,000 Bitcoin? Because what you don't realize is they can make just as much money off of Bitcoin if Bitcoin was $10. Yes, they can. You think to yourself that they want to buy and accumulate Bitcoin. No. It's the synthetics that makes them the money. It's the gambling aspect of Bitcoin that makes them the money. They need retail to believe these false narratives that this Bitcoin is just going to take over the world. Will Bitcoin ever go crazy like 100,000? I believe on a long enough timeline it will. Is it going to be at a time it's going to benefit everybody? Hell no. It's going to come at a time no one sees it. It really is. Think about how many people are in Bitcoin right now that bought above $25,000 or $30,000. Think about how many people did that, okay? Think about that. Majority of people didn't want to touch it when it was at a good price, when it was $10,000 or less. $10,000 is actually my favorite price point for Bitcoin, believe it or not. It's the most tamed point, more controlled point. And actually, if you look at the charts when we were floating around 10,000, the volatility was a lot more predictable. Where we're at right now, it's freaking insane. So with inflation doing what it is doing right now, I'm going to tell you that you're going to start seeing your institutions, your traders, Wall Street, looking for places that they can go and play right now, places that they can control the market, hedge their assets, and ensure that they're not going to lose money. Now, I guess even China. China right now is trying to tame their inflation. I haven't been following it very closely, but I guess in China right now, their inflation is getting out of hand as well. The way they handled COVID is a lot like what we did. They just freaking printed money. You can't, and people keep saying, oh, I want this free money. I want free everything. I want free, it's not even get in that discussion. But the more free shit you give out, okay, and the more you try to take away from your upper class, okay, the more you're going to increase your inflation, because someone's got to pay for it. Someone's got to pay for it. And it can't just be one class that you try to make pay for it. Everybody has to take more of an equal share. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know. Things are getting crazy. I guess Australia is getting hit with this as well. So, inflation, I believe, is going to spawn a whole new level of market for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, a quick thing. People are asking, do you think altcoin season is coming? I will tell you this. Looking at how things have been trading, just looking at certain signs and applying past experience and knowledge I have today, it appears that an altcoin season is very possible. It appears. I don't believe it's guaranteed. I believe we're in a time right now where things are way, way, way too unpredictable. I think we need to be a little bit more cautious and not so hopeful. Less hopeful, more cautious, cautiously optimistic. How about that? Go for cautiously optimistic. I think it's possible. I'm still playing. I am still playing in the altcoin market. As a matter of fact, I actually did an investment here in Polars. Polars has taken the DeFi concept and prediction concept to a whole new level. Basically, it's kind of cool. You have like a light and a dark side. You know what I mean? You can play devil's advocate more or less on whatever it is that you are going to speculate on, whether it's politics, sports, exchanges, whatever it may be. Now, Polars does have a medium where you can kind of follow and see what they have going on, but I can give you a quick rundown of some of the highlights of the platform. I kind of got some notes taken on it, but Polars has completed their first large-scale beta testing of the platform. There was more than 30,000 people that took part in the beta testing, and about 11,000 users have passed all stages of testing and will receive a reward in the government's Pol tokens. Like I was saying earlier, there's uniqueness to the Polar. It's a token structure. There's two Polar tokens. You have a white and a black. If the white price rises, then the black price falls, and vice versa. If black rises, then white falls by the same amount. But the aggregate of the two Polar tokens remain unchanged, which is really cool. Which token will grow and which will fall is influenced by the results of the specific events of the real world. Sports competitions, exchange, politics, and other events which are opposing sides. Like I said, it's a pretty neat concept. It's different. I think it's a little bit more fun too. Again, I'm speculating on this stuff. Okay, this is stuff I'm speculating on. I'm still playing. I actually believe the token is being released today on Uniswap. So so immediately after listing on Uniswap, Polars will launch on staking program that will bring 181% APY or 9% per month or 0.3% per day on the Pol token. So pretty good staking option there. I might try out. But, it's just something I am playing with. I don't believe that it's time to just give it up. I don't believe it's time to not play anymore. But I do believe it's time to play more cautiously. This isn't the time to sit there and just throw money at everything. It's like throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks kind of thing. You know what I mean? I'm not doing that right now. I'm taking more of a disciplined approach. Polars, I'm trying it because of the fact that I know a few people that's in it. So we'll see what happens. This is not sponsored, by the way. This is all stuff that I actually put my money in. Something else I'm playing with right now, anything that DAOmaker puts out, I pretty much play with. I have not done bad on anything with DAOmaker. I did Fear. Fear is a hybrid NFT coin and blockchain gaming horror brand that creators and famous Wacket series holders gain major exposure to all NFT sales and trades. Gamers holding the coin can access the NFT universe, play to earn farming areas of its games. So, it's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with my results with it. I'm pretty happy with how it's been turning out. I think it's cool as hell. I like the concept. It's cute. Qt seems to do well in our space. NFTs seem to do well in our space. I think through even a bear market, I don't expect huge returns on this. I really don't expect this to be like a huge thing. But I also feel it's a safe place for me to play and make even little micro returns. That's how I kind of got myself through the bear markets. Look for things I thought were cute, things that people would play with, things that people would utilize or would build a lot of community, and kind of put my money behind that as well. And it works. It works out. You know, I mean, it's not bulletproof. It's not bulletproof, but fear, I think, is one of those things. And again, being from DAO Maker, I've been very happy. Now, I'm going to give a quick mention about this one as well. I feel I should do more of a serious segment on Epic Prime, which is from DAO Maker. Epic is a serious deal here. We're talking the global leader connecting brands with video games, apps, and VR, AR. Epic brings to life unique collaborations using digital platforms, delivering an experience that users love. This one, I think I'm going to go into a more of a deep dive segment with this. You need to look at this. Again, coming from DAO Maker, I've always been happy with the things. Now, does it mean that this is going to be like the best of the best of the best? No. But DAO Maker has done a fantastic job at making sure that they deliver content or deliver quality products out there, and they give plenty of support to make sure these guys succeed. So I mean, give them a follow on Twitter and do some of your own research on that. Again, this is Fear and Epic I'm invested in. I'm not paid for this. This is stuff that my money is invested in. And again, anything that does launch, like take for instance Polars today, a lot of people will be de-risking. I think de-risking is going to be a lot higher than normal. So don't market buy. I do know that everyone gets 100% of their tokens today. Most platforms that do 100% upfront, they do that because they feel freaking solid. Like they're confident. They're really confident, and a lot of times they're trying to buy the tokens back. So that one right there, just keep your eyes on that. Don't get crazy and buy that one too soon. All right, guys, listen. That's all I have for today. Watch inflation. Seriously, watch what's happening with inflation. And I think I need to do a video also as well on the U.S. government's ability to confiscate Bitcoin. It's a big deal. It's a serious topic. And I don't know. I should have everybody worried. All right. So listen, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out.